Casey Mears was a lap down and stuck in the grass. At 47 years old, driving for a 10-man team, his Daytona 500 dream looked over. Then on the final lap, the leaders crashed in front of him, smoke filled the track, cars slammed the wall, and somehow, Casey Mears drove through it all. When the caution came out, he had made the Daytona 500. The story begins at Daytona International Speedway, the place where dreams either explode in smoke or live forever. The dual qualifying races decide who makes the Daytona 500 field. For powerhouse teams, it is a formality. For small operations, it is survival. Casey Mears arrived knowing exactly what was at stake. At 47 years old, driving for Garage 66, owned by Carl Long, he was not supposed to be part of the conversation. The team has only 10 employees, no sprawling race shop, no fleet of backup cars, no army of engineers crunching data. Just a tight group of believers trying to make one race. This would be Mears' 14th Daytona 500 start, but it would be his first since 2019. Years have passed since he was a regular presence in the Cup Series garage. The sport moved on. Younger drivers filled the seats. Multi-car organizations expanded their reach. Mears kept chasing opportunities, chasing starts, chasing a milestone that still drives him. 500 Career Cup starts. That number matters. It represents longevity in a sport that chews up talent and spits it out quickly. To reach it, he needs chances. And chances are rare for part-time veterans. Duel 1 began like so many Daytona nights do. Tight packs, bump drafting at nearly 200 miles per hour, inches separating triumph from disaster. Early in the race, Mears made contact with Noah Gragson on pit road. It was the kind of awkward moment that instantly raises blood pressure. The contact sent Mears spinning. He slid, helpless, and ended up stuck in the infield grass. For a small team, that is the nightmare. Not a dramatic wreck that at least earns sympathy. Not a mechanical failure you can explain away. Just a spin. Just grass. Just the sinking realization that your shot might be gone before the halfway mark. He went a lap down. In the dual format, only a limited number of open cars transfer into the Daytona 500. The rest go home. Being a lap down is usually a death sentence, but Daytona does not follow logic. Under caution, Mears received the lucky dog. The free pass put him back on the lead lap. One break, one small door reopening. Still, he was buried in traffic. The big organizations controlled the front. Joey Logano would go on to win the race, showcasing the strength of his team. Up front, the established names handled business. In the middle and back, drivers like Mears simply tried to survive. Every lap felt fragile. One bad push, one stalled run, one mistimed move could end everything. As the race wound down, tension built. Overtime loomed. Daytona overtime is different from anywhere else. The field bunches up. Desperation replaces patience. Drivers know it might be their final chance. On the last lap of overtime, chaos detonated. Corey LaJoie had been running inside the top 5. He was in position to qualify. For his team, it was within reach. Then contact sent him into the outside wall. The move involved Daniel Suarez, and in a split second, metal crumpled and sparks flew. Cars stacked up. Smoke filled the backstretch. For most drivers, that is where the dream dies. But for Mears, it was the moment that defined everything. He drove straight into the wreckage. There was no time to think, only instinct. He clipped Suarez's damaged car, but kept rolling. No heavy impact, no destroyed suspension. The car kept moving forward while others slowed or crashed behind him. NASCAR threw the caution. The field froze. And when positions were sorted, Casey Mears was the highest finishing open car. That was it. A spin on pit road, a lap down, a lucky dog, overtime carnage, and suddenly, the tiny team from Garage 66 had raced its way into the Daytona 500. The emotion hit immediately. In post-race interviews, Mears tried to speak but struggled. 3 separate times he had to choke back tears. It was not just about making one race, it was about validation, about proving that experience still matters, about showing that a small group with limited resources can stand on the same stage as giants. Behind the scenes, This effort was held together by belief and outside support. Former team owner Bob Germain provided financial backing to help make this entry possible. In modern NASCAR, funding is everything. Without it, even talented drivers sit at home. For a 10-person team, qualifying on speed and racecraft instead of buying a guaranteed spot is enormous. It means the shop employees who build the car, who load the hauler, who double-check every bolt, now get to see their work on the biggest stage. The Daytona 500 is not just another race, it is the Super Bowl of stock car racing. Sponsors watch, careers change. One strong run can open doors that seem permanently closed. For Mears, the return carries extra weight. His last Daytona 500 start came in 2019. The years since have been filled with scattered appearances and near misses. To come back now, at 47, in a car few considered competitive, adds a layer of improbability that makes the story resonate. Age in NASCAR is complicated. Experience helps at superspeedways. Understanding the draft, reading runs, knowing when to push and when to lift. But physical and mental demands are relentless. Younger drivers bring aggression and fresh opportunities. Veterans must prove they still belong. On this night, Mears did more than belong. He survived. The contrast inside the garage was stark. Multi-car organizations with hundreds of employees and vast engineering departments saw one of their own eliminated in the chaos. Meanwhile, a team with 10 people celebrated like they had won a championship. Carl Long, the owner of Garage 66, has spent years grinding in the background of NASCAR. His teams rarely receive headlines. They fight simply to qualify. For him, seeing his car locked into the Daytona 500 grid is a statement that persistence still has a place in this sport. The images from the backstretch told the story better than any statistic. Twisted sheet metal, cars sliding, sparks flying under the lights, and one white car slipping through, battered but moving. Daytona rewards boldness, but it also rewards positioning. Mears was in the right place when the race unraveled. He did not panic. He did not overcorrect. He kept the throttle steady enough to avoid becoming part of the pileup. When the caution lights illuminated the track, everything froze in time. Drivers waited. Teams checked monitors. Calculations happened instantly. Who was ahead of whom at the moment of caution? Then confirmation came. Garage 66 was in. For the fans, it was the kind of story that makes the Daytona duels essential viewing. The duels are not exhibitions. They carry real consequences. Careers hang in the balance. One lap can swing millions of dollars in exposure. Mears now moves one step closer to his 500 career Cup start goal. That milestone is rare. It signals durability in a brutal environment. Every race added is another brick in a long career that has seen wins, near misses, and countless battles in the draft.